remember, only the disciplined ones are free in life. If you are in discipline, you are a slave to your moods. You are a slave to your passions. Remember, there is a quote which says, the best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago. The second and the best time is today.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Sin, coming back with another one, man. Y'all already know it's Friday. The Most High done woke us up this morning. Yeah, let's take this opportunity to be great, man. Let's take this opportunity to do everything that we need to do that's going to get us one step closer to where we trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We need to get one step closer. You know what I mean? But before y'all do, man, I wanted to show y'all that clip because I like what he said. You know, I like what he said. He said, if you're not disciplined, right, you are a slave to your moods and you are a slave to your passions, you know? And what he mean by you a slave to your moods is, you know, any way that you feel, you gonna act on it, you know? You gonna wear your mood on your face and you gonna act on that mood. You know, so if you feeling sad, guess what? You gonna be sad. If you mad, you gonna display that you mad and you want everybody to see it because you a slave to it. You a slave to your emotions and feelings, you know, because you lack discipline. When you lack discipline, bro, listen, you gon' display everything because you never trained yourself how to act. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by how to act, like, listen, you know, we all wake up and feel like something. You know what I mean? We all go through different moods of the day. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how we feel. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever notice the moody person always lets everyone know that they're moody. They're not in the mood. Every time they mad, they show it. When they sad, they show it. When they happy, they show it. You know, when they upset, they show it. You know what I'm saying? It just gotta be on display because they have no discipline. They have no discipline to just, you know what I mean, just go through it and you know, do whatever they need to do, whether at the workplace or just in general. You know, they just have to act out on it, almost like children, you know, because they lack discipline. And when you are disciplined to your passions, then you already know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody, there's a lot of things that we do that make us feel good. You know what I'm saying? But when you discipline, you won't act on everything that make you feel good because a lot of the times it's not good for us. You know, like eating bad, drugs, alcohol, smoking, fapping, sex. You know, yeah, those are great passions. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, it makes you feel good, but when you discipline, you're not gonna do it because you know it's not good for you. You know it's gonna do you more harm than it does good. But when you lack discipline, bro, listen, you gonna do all of it. However you feel, whatever mood you in, that's how they connect it. Whatever mood that you in, right? You a slave to that mood, so you gonna do it. You gonna do it. You feel like doing drugs, guess what? You gonna do those drugs. You feel like fapping, you gonna fap. You gonna do it because you a slave to your mood and your passions. You feel like eating like shit, then guess what? You gonna eat like shit because you lack discipline. You're not gonna tell yourself no because you are a slave to your moods and you a slave to your passions. Listen, it's self-explanatory. We live in a world full of people just like this, you know, that's just like this, you know, and they don't understand or care to understand why they are the way they are. They think it's normal. They think it's normal to walk around, you know, wearing their mood on their face and in their actions and all of that shit. So guess what? They gonna act that out. When they mad, they gonna act it out to everybody because they want everybody to see because they lack discipline and have the mind of a child. You know, so like a child would, when a child upset and throw a fit and get emotional, guess what? That child gonna act it out on the drop of a dime. You got grown people that's like this. You ever see people that you wonder, like, man, why they always mad all the time? You know what I'm saying? Why they always this? Why they always that? You know how? That's because they lack discipline. Whatever mood they in, they gonna act on that. Whether it's in the actions themselves, or if it's just in the actions of how they feel in something that they want to do. You know what I mean? Whether good or bad. And that's the crazy part about it. So yeah, that makes you a slave to these things. And y'all know how I feel about being a slave to anything. It's not a good feeling. You know, you can't elevate being a slave to sex. You can't elevate being a slave to drugs. You can't elevate being a slave to your mood, because you're not gonna know how to alter that mood in important situations. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody gonna feel good when they come to work. Not everybody gonna be happy when they gotta do certain things, but guess what? They do it anyway because they discipline. You think I'm happy every time I go to the gym? You know what I mean? You think I'm happy every time I'm on this camera? You think I'm happy every time I gotta write music at the end of the night? No. But I know it needs to be done. I'm not gonna let the fact that I'm not feeling well or just not happy control what I do. I'm not gonna be a slave to that shit. You know, I'm disciplined enough to do what needs to be done. And you have to be disciplined enough to do what needs to be done too. We wake up, we gotta be parents. You think we feel like dealing with these kids all the time? No, we don't. But when you discipline, you gonna do it because you know what needs to be done. You know, you're not just gonna throw a fit about it. Gotta get up, go to work, gotta get my kid ready, you know what I mean? And they gotta display it, gotta put it on display. You know what I'm saying? To your girl, or your girl gotta put it on display to you just because she not disciplined. You know, and then you got to think about this as a man, if you carried yourself like this, bro, because that is some bitch shit. That's you a bitch if you got to carry yourself like, if you carrying yourself like that, you a bitch because, like I said, as a man, we are allowed to feel different type of ways. We are allowed to be, you know, in different type of moods because that's who we are. We human, all of us. All of us are human. So guess what? Being human, we gonna feel different ways depending on the days, depending on the shit that's happening in our life, depending on all this shit. But discipline, right? Discipline will make its adjustments. When you discipline, dog, listen, you gonna know how to carry yourself. You gonna know how to get through that day without putting everything on display of how you feel. That's a man right there. That's a real man. You know what I'm saying? But when you a man and you gotta put it on display, you no matter, it's no way around it. You look like a hoe. You look like a hoe in here throwing fits. You look like a hoe tossing stuff around. You look like a hoe wanna walk around looking all mean to everybody. That's what bitches do. That's what bitches do. They wear they mood. They want everybody to know it. You can't be a slave to your moods. You gotta carry yourself like a king and go through shit like a real king too. You gotta be a man. Cause boys do shit like that. Boys and little girls and babies that throw fits, little kids. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot be a slave to your moods and your passions, man. You gotta know how to say no when things ain't good for you. When you trying to get somewhere in life, when you trying to elevate, you gotta be able to make that call as a boss of your life. When you know you gotta do, we gon' have to do things that we don't feel like doing. You know what I'm saying? But we know it's good for us, so we gonna do it. We gonna have to say no to things that we want in life. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know it makes us feel good because we know it ain't good for us. We know it ain't good for our mind. We know fapping ain't good. We know porn ain't good for our mental health. So guess what? We got to find it in us. We got to be disciplined enough to say no. We know bad food. We know fast food ain't good for us. So we got to be disciplined enough to say no, or at least put some type of restrictions on there. You know what I mean? Limitations. All of those things, you got to be disciplined enough. And when you know, right? when you know that you shouldn't be doing something, or you got restrictions and limitations on things, then guess what? That don't mean you can't never do it, because it's give and take. But you got to be disciplined enough to say no, like, nah, because you focused on other things. You focused on the end goal, and guess what? That's when you can reward yourself. Yeah, you can't get used to rewarding yourself, but guess what? Listen, sometimes you got to do that until you can get all the way right. Until you can get all the way right, you know? So that's the thing, man. It's all about discipline at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's all about showing restraint, not giving in to everything. You know? And we have to be like that as men. We got to be disciplined. Without discipline, you have nothing. Without discipline, you won't get anywhere in life. Without discipline, you're going to be in the same spot. You can't elevate without discipline. You can't get to the goals of the days, your streaks and all that shit that you're trying to get to without discipline. You know? You can never stop watching porn and doing drugs and doing the shit that you know what I'm saying? You can never stop any of those things. Any of that escapism, you can't stop it without some type of discipline. But you got people out there that think that they don't need it. They hear the word discipline, right? And they look at it as something that hurts. Sometimes, you know what? Discipline does hurt. It does hurt. But damn, you know, the whole goal is what matter. You know what I mean? The reason for doing it is what matter. Everything ain't gonna be easy all the time. Everybody expects shit to not hurt, not be easy, not be painful. Anytime they hear the word discipline, pain, workout, gym, any of those things, they look at it as painful. They don't want to do it because they stuck in their comfort zone. They want to feel good all the time. And we got to snap out of that shit. If we want to, they look at everybody else on these platforms that's successful. They looking at everybody else that's successful in these music videos and on TV, and they think they got there without discipline. No, you don't reach success without discipline. You don't reach success without discipline in anything. It ain't even got nothing to do with money. If you trying to be successful in the smallest things, you cannot get there without discipline. No matter what it is. Whether it's parenting, business, music, art, don't matter. It don't matter. You gon' need it. You gon' need discipline. So I suggest y'all start working on it now. You know what I mean? Start working on it now. Start being able to say no now. Start telling yourself, no, I need to do this. I got to go to the gym now. Tell yourself, I got to do this. I got to apply for these classes online now. Say, no, I got to do this. Guess what? I'm not eating no fast food all this week. Start now. Start now. So you could be successful with your health. So you could be successful in business. So you could get to the bag. So you could get to the high value status that you want to get to. Because sitting around crying and being a slave to your mood and your passions and temptations and all that shit is for the birds. First, I'ma get on my grind. Then second, stop wasting my time on shit less important. If ain't about money, I'm going the other direction. And third, I'ma do what I gotta to eat. Fourth, I'ma sew up the streets. Fifth, I'ma never quit dropping this heat. So as long as I'm breathing, you better get used to me. Sixth, I'ma get